Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pastor Jay here at Christ Church, and I know it's been many months since we've been wrestling with the issues of the COVID-19 virus and our inability to gather in our building in the normal way that we have in the past. As I've told you before, we've been meeting with the relaunch team for several months now, working on phases and plans to begin to gather together in person. We are entering in now to phase 2 of that plan. This will include some in-person gatherings. However, many of these gatherings will still not be in our building. You'll be receiving an email if you're on our constant contact list, which will outline specifically some of these activities that we'll be offering. Also, you'll receive a letter in the mail which will outline our phase 2 plan. But I want to take a few moments in this video though just to share some of the highlights of that plan. One of the things the relaunch team is planning to do during phase 2 is offering a brief worship service on Sunday morning outside. This will be an alternative to our primary service, which will remain being the online service through Facebook Live. But we know there are folks that may want to come for an in-person gathering, and we believe that the safest way for us to do that will be to do it outdoors during the month of July and in the summer while weather allows us to do that. Of course, in doing so though, there will be limited seating. We will have approximately 22 areas for either individuals or families to sit, which will allow for appropriate social distancing. We will be out in the parking lot between our building and the old Garlow building for those seating area. But then others can join us in their cars and park in our Virginia Street parking lot in every other space and be able to participate in the service while in the safety of their car. We have specific protocols for those that will be participating in the service by using their lawn chair and sitting in the seating area, which we have to follow, and those are all listed in the constant contact email and also the letter, so folks will know. One of those things is, of course, we need to maintain social distancing the whole time we're together. Also, the service won't include congregational singing and some of the things that we realize are very detrimental in spreading the virus. And so again, you can read those protocols. Because there is limited seating though, we will also need to be taking reservations. And I'll be honest with you, the relaunch team really wrestled with that. It just sounds weird to say that I've got to make a reservation to come to church. And I understand that. It sounds weird and it feels weird to me. But however, with only 22 spaces, and in order to be equitable, we feel like we will need to use some type of a reservation system. So in the constant contact email and in the letter, there's information regarding how to sign up for a remind contact. This is a contact that works through your cell phone and text messaging. And we will be using that as a means to make reservations, and then also as a means to inform folks about the service. For example, if it's raining and we have to cancel the service, we could use Remind to get that information out real quick. So again, if you want to participate in this in-person outdoor service, it's going to be very important for you to be a part of that Remind contact list. So when you see that in the email and the letter, please pay careful attention to the procedures on how to connect with that. And so we are looking forward to at least offering this early morning 8:30 service in person outside, but recognize it won't be the same as our regular service. It will be briefer. It will not include all of the things that we always do in worship. Probably more like a morning prayer service with a sharing of the word and a sermon, some prayers and a solo or something like that. But again, I know we're longing to see each other, and so this will be an in-person opportunity. In addition to that, throughout the month of July, we're wanting to begin to maybe phase in doing some things inside the building. And so we've decided to begin to allow some small groups to meet in the building if they so desire. These groups can be no more than 10. We will have a special place for where that group will meet in one of our rooms. Right now, most groups will be using the choir room up in the choir music suite. We feel like that room's big enough that we can separate chairs for appropriate social distancing for folks to come and have a meeting or to have a conversation or a book study. There are, again, protocols that would be followed while you're in the building, One of which would be you would have to wear a mask. That's something we've been doing inside the building for a number of months now, and we'll need to continue to do that as groups gather until, again, the virus gets more under control and hopefully a vaccine is made available. So, but also, some small groups, one particularly, has already started meeting at the church, but they're meeting outside. Even though we no longer own the green space across the street from Morris Street out there under the tree, some groups have begun to gather out there, and we've marked spaces so that we can appropriately social distance. So another option, if you really want to meet in person, would be to meet under the tree. But of course, as always, all you have to do is call the office or send an email, and we can make arrangements for your group to meet, share with you the protocols that would be necessary, or if you want to set up a Zoom call to meet in that manner like we've been doing. So again, we encourage you to use these variety of ways to begin to meet together. But I do know, friends, as you know as well, as I speak to you here today, it's the first part of July, the virus hasn't gone away. As a matter of fact, it's increasing around us. We do feel like the protocols we're using for these in-person gatherings will be appropriate and will keep everybody safe. However, we always want to use caution. And so for any of these in-person events, particularly those of you who may be elderly or have pre-existing conditions or things that make you more vulnerable to the virus, I encourage you to just stay online. Let's stay connected this way, or to call and have conversation, but don't put yourself at risk. Nothing's worth that because you are special people. And so all of these protocols and all these things we're doing here at the church and not doing some of the things we used to do is because we want everyone to be safe and healthy. That's what's important. Thank you.